it's Tina and I'm back. And listen, okay, I am having fun with makeup today and it ended up being a day for Dior. I am playing with this new eyeshadow palette from Dior that I picked up. This is the Khaki Neutrals palette that debuted for holiday 2022. I had to pick it up because it's different. It has greens in it. This is not typical Dior. They lean more neutral. And I wanted to try out this new formula, and it is one of the only purchases that I made during this holiday season so far. And like I said, it ended up being a Dior day because I pulled out all my Dior goodies. I have two of the foundations from them. We have the Forever Matte and the Forever Skin Glow. We have their face powders. These are the face and body powder, no powder powders. Do you guys remember these? And I also have their contour palette. Yes, I have not used this in a video as yet, even though I've owned it for so long. The concealer. This is the Skin Forever Full Coverage Creamy Concealer from their line. We also have their blushes. Like, who doesn't love a good blush? And quite a few lip products. The lip oil, the lipstick that you guys know I love, and even one of their lip tints. So if you want to see me have fun with Dior and also chat with you guys a little bit, just shooting the shit as we usually do in these get ready with me videos, then stay tuned and I will talk to you soon. Alright guys, so as usual, we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. I filled in my eyebrows and I applied my eyeshadow primer. So I used a, where is it, Holland? I used a sticky primer today. So I used my Kat Von D High Voltage Eye Primer in the shade Skin. Have they re-released this as yet? They really need to. I know it's no longer Kat Von D, it's KVD Beauty, but I feel like this primer was one of the winner products from the line, and they need to re-release it because it doesn't crease, okay? I have oily lids. It may crease just a little bit if I use too much, but if I apply it and blend it out like I did now, no creasing, and it amps up eyeshadows like nobody's business. It is such a good eyeshadow primer, and I think I have one more backup of it, but I've been using this for years now and it hasn't gone bad, which I can't say the same for other primers that I've used that have just started smelling funny. And I mean, I've been using them for years, so maybe that's my fault as well, but you know, do I really pay attention to expiration dates? No, I don't. Okay, moving on. So, as I mentioned in the intro, we're using the Dior eyeshadow palette in Khaki Neutrals. This is palette number 8, and they launched this for the holiday season. They also have a burgundy one that I may consider picking up, but I am not the biggest fan of like burgundy and red shades. But I might. I'll think about it. But for right now, I'm content with the khaki one because they haven't done a green one before, so I wanted to pick this one up. I already have the, is it Amber Neutrals that has some of those warmer red tones, so I wanted to get the khaki one. All right, let me stop talking. A lot of these shades say glitter in them, and ain't none of them glittery, okay, except for the top coat, which is this white one right here. So on the back, let me show you what I'm looking at. On the back, it has this grid that tells you the finish and the name of the shade. I don't know if it's necessarily just the name or just the shade description, but you get what I'm saying. So we have a couple of glitter shades in here as well as an eyeshadow primer. So glitter, where's the other glitter? Glitter, and I can't see, I can't read backwards, glitter. And then we have some satin shades, and this top coat is the one that I would say is the most glittery one because it's kind of sheer. It's literally a top coat. What the hell is that on my finger? Child. Ooh, I was swatching some products and so I have product under my nails. Anyway, we're gonna go in with this palette, and I use the sticky primer because these shades don't really stick too intensely to the skin, which is fine by me because I feel like Dior is just one of those brands, and it goes for any luxury brand really. They go for more lightweight eyeshadows, shadows that just give a wash of color rather than full-on pigment and intensity. So that's why I like these palettes, because they're easy to wear. Anyway, let's do the namesake of the palette, which is Khaki. This says it's a glitter shade, but you see there's no glitter at all. You know what? Let me show you the swatches so you can see what I'm talking about. These shades are not very pigmented. They look very light and dull in the swatches for sure. And they're a little bit lighter than the other palettes that I have from them, which had me questioning things. But again, I'm okay with a more subtle look, so I don't mind it. So let's go in with the khaki shade. And I'm going to use a larger blend. Well, it's not a large blending brush. This is the number 5 brush from BH Cosmetics. Is BH Cosmetics back at it yet or what? I don't know. Weren't they purchased by somebody? Who were they purchased by? Somebody was trying to buy them, child. I don't know, but remember they went bankrupt, but I think another brand tried to buy them so they could resurrect them a little bit. Was it Revolution Beauty? I feel like it was Revolution Beauty that purchased them, and maybe they can improve some of their formulas using the BH Cosmetics formula, but I don't keep up. I don't care that much. All right. I'm just using the shade. Do I want, yeah, I want to keep building it up so I get a wash of color. I'm pulling it in towards my inner crease area, but I'm not pulling it into the inner tear duct. I'm just creating that wash of color right there. And you can see right away it's just a wash of color. Let me pull a little bit of that on the outer V. So what's going on with you guys? I don't really have much that I want to talk about today. I don't have to catch you guys up on anything, which is kind of lame. So we can just talk about regular stuff. Y'all, what is going on with Twitter? Your boy Elon, what is that about? Like, Elon, listen, okay, let me grab another shade while I talk about this. So we have warm brown, which is a satin shade. It is more matte than satin, but they don't really have matte shades in this palette that they're declaring as matte. So we're just gonna, buff that in the outer V and outer crease. So I'm not really pulling that too much into the crease and brow bone area. Elon is nuts, okay? What did he spend to acquire Twitter? 44 billion, but a lot of it was shares, so it's not liquid cash. I think a lot of us don't understand that part of it. It's not liquid cash. He has this net worth because of his stocks in like Tesla and like his earning potential, and we'll see that a lot. Net worth, they are valued this and blah, 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 and it's like, but it's not liquid cash. It's not like he can go over there and pull out 44 billion. Like, nah, it doesn't work like that. Not with that level of assets. It doesn't work like that. It's not like he has that sitting in the bank, you know? So he had to sell some shares and do some maneuvering behind the scenes, which is why I think he wanted to pull out of the deal. I seriously feel like he said he wanted to buy Twitter in jest. I don't even think he really intended on buying Twitter, but he said it, and like he communicated with the CEO over there, and they just took it and was like, all right, that is your commitment, okay? Gentleman's agreement that you're gonna purchase Twitter for 44 billion. And they took him to court so he would honor that. I can't stand it. Like, they literally took him to court to say, boy, you said you was gonna buy this. You gon' buy it for that 44 billion. I don't know what to tell you. So they ended up, like, we don't know the behind the scenes, but whatever. He ended up acquiring Twitter, so now he owns the majority shares. Now the previous CEO still has shares, but he left, and it's like a whole situation, but he's over there creating havoc, okay? He's laid off so many people. It's a mess. The $8 verification badge thing, the little check mark, like, people are over there buying it and going crazy because you have all these trolls and these, oh my God, it is a mess, okay? And the bad thing is, I really like Twitter. Like, it is probably my favorite social media app next to YouTube, because I'm always over there reading the mess, figuring out what's going on in pop culture. Like, I'm keeping up with the Joneses over there, okay? If I want to get a news story, that's where I find out first. If I want to hear if Instagram is down, that's where I find out first. If I want to get involved in some drama, that's where I go to, you know? Instagram is cute. Like, I scroll through, double tap a couple things. Like, you know, I'm not on the talk, so I'm not over there ticking, you know? So I ain't worried about that. And then YouTube, I play videos in the background for everything. so YouTube is almost always on, so that's my most active network or, you know, account. But Twitter is where I kind of interact more. I wish the YouTube comments were kind of easier to navigate like Twitter, because then I'd be over there just doing all kinds of things. All right, let's go in with the dark green. This is pine green, and it's also a glitter shade. Where the glitter at? Where the glitter at, Dior? You lying? So Elon is just over there doing the most, okay? And I've heard horror stories, because if you guys are on my Instagram, and I'll leave both of those links below, my Twitter and my Instagram. If you are on my Instagram, and I think I did do a get ready with me video where I spoke about the green. Okay, y'all know I love a good smoky outer V. Like, look at the green. It is yes. So when I swatched this in store, let me just mention me picking this up first. So when I swatched this in store, I was in North Carolina. I was doing my training for my machinery safety expert certification. I went to the mall, you know, because I was waiting on my flight, which was like 5 hours out. I wasn't gonna go to the airport to sit down, so I went and had dinner. I went and cruised around the mall, like I'm hanging out with myself, right? So I went to Sephora, and I think at this point, had the sale started yet? I don't know if the sale had started yet, or I just had points. I think I just had reward points, and I went ahead and picked this up, because the thing is, I didn't wait for the sale, because even if I waited for the sale, I wouldn't have gotten as big a discount with my reward points, because I think I had like $20 off. If I got 20% off, it still wouldn't be $20 off, and you can't combine the two coupons. So I just went ahead and picked this up, treat myself, you know, after going through that class. So I picked it up in store, and when I swatched it, I was like, what is this? What is this? It swatched a little bit tired, but then you know when you remove the swatches and your arm is a little bit damp, and then, well, your hand is a little bit damp, and then you swatch and you see like the true potential of the shade, like it's really intense. That's what I did with this palette, and I was like, all right, boom. So if I really wanted to sing, just use a stickier primer, which is what I used in this case, right? So the intensity is what I want it to be. It blends out easily. So yeah, I really like this. This brush is from Sydney Grace. It's their eyeshadow brush number 2. They have some good little blending brushes over there at Sydney Grace, and they are vegan, and they blend out really nicely. Nice. Okay, I feel like I'm doing something similar to my last look that I did in my build a palette video. I built a palette from my singles inspired by that retro glam palette, and I did a look that's kind of similar to this. So what I'm going to do is grab the shimmery green, which is emerald, and it's described as a metal. I don't know what their definition of metal is, but it's supposed to be like a metallic shade. It isn't, okay? It's very light in shimmer. I would call this a satin shade. So whatever they're calling satin is more matte, and whatever they're calling metal is more satin, okay? Still pretty, but it's like a muted green. This palette is very similar to that Natasha Denona palette, which I actually went and swatched in store. And girl, you ain't missing out on a damn thing, especially if you're my complexion. That shit is so muted and light, dusty. So I swatched it, and the greens kind of remind me somewhat of the greens in this palette. So that's why I'm kind of getting a similar look, which I like. Okay, let's grab the pure gold shade, this center shade. It's a glitter shade. Again, it's not glitter. The glitter shades are probably their versions of a frost, because look, where's the glitter? Oh, let me zoom in a little so you can see what I'm doing. But like, where's the glitter? But this look, like I'm saying, is very similar to the look that I created from that retro glam inspired palette, with the light inner tear duct, which is like a champagne-y color, and then we have the green and the darker outer V. I don't know what that was just now. Did I just stutter? But it's really pretty. It's very subtle. So this is what I mean about this being more subtle, definitely more muted. It would definitely be for somebody who's not into like bold metallic glittery shades, because even though their shades say they're glitter, they're not. There's only one shade that really has glitter in it. Let's do something on the inner tear duct. I have not used the topper shade as yet. Should we try that out? I feel like I want to try it out. It's that white shade, but it's like very sheer. Let's try it. But I'm gonna spritz my brush. So I was saying, if you watched one of my catch-up videos, I had spoken about going to Tesla. So I heard really bad feedback from the people that work at Tesla. So I wasn't working with just any regular production line worker. I was working with people that reported directly to Elon, or had to report to Elon with like their status report. Not good feedback about him. That is a pretty color. It amped up the inner tear duct, but it's not chunky glitter, which again is why I like these Dior palettes. They just work out for me. My under eyes, girl. Y'all see this? Look how dark, mama. My mother calls this, okay, because she got that South Asian, East Indian blood. And look pon it, look pon the darkness under my eyes. All right, we're gonna keep this strictly Dior. Do I have a Dior concealer? They have one, don't they? Yeah, so let's do a Dior face. You already know this from the intro, but I didn't really plan this out. Let's do Dior for the face. What foundation? So here's the thing. I have the new Forever foundation. So we have the Forever Skin Glow and the Forever Matte, both in the shade 4.5N. I own the previous formulation of these, which was good, and then now they have this new formulation. So I'm gonna do something a little bit unorthodox. I'm going to use the matte on one side and the glow on one side to show you guys what these look like, you know, and how they compare. So matte, again, they're both the same shade. So the color match shouldn't be different. It should just be the finish. All right, let me do the matte on this side. I didn't even put any moisturizer or primer on. I'm not really going anywhere. In fact, I'll probably just wash this off because I'll go to the gym. Child, let me show you something, y'all. I'm gonna do this real quick. So I got these workout shorts, okay? And now I understand why the girlies are wearing these shorts in their workout videos. Like, look at my butt. No, like, seriously, look at this. And then they give themselves the wedgie. So if I give myself the little wedgie, and then it's high-waisted, so I got the wedgie, and now my butt looks extra juicy. And I don't have a bad behind. Like, my behind is cute, but like, this is how they're faking it, because I really do not have a workout butt, but I could pretend, because now, look at this angle, right? My butt looks all, right? Oh my God. So if y'all want to pretend, y'all could pretend, because it's really the leggings. I mean, my ass is cute. Let's not pretend. My ass ain't cute, okay? No, I've never had like a flat butt. Thankfully, even when I was really tiny, not like tiny like young, but tiny as in body size. When I was a 00, like a extra small, yeah, I used to wear a extra small. That's how skinny I was. So I was 95 pounds in high school. When I got here, I was still 95 pounds. And then when I started working at my first job, like official career job out of college, I was 102 pounds, okay? So I was really tiny. Again, extra small. Okay, the matte foundation though. Can we talk about color match? Dior understands the assignment with getting my shade match right. Like, can you tell I'm even wearing foundation? Now, it's more of a medium coverage. It definitely isn't what I would consider full coverage at all. I'm going to use a different brush. It's the same brush, just a different one. And this one I already used with this foundation, so I'll just use it again. This is the glowy side now. Again, the shade match, unrivaled. Who, foundation, where, like, Dior, baby, yes. Dior always has a good match for me, and it's always 4.5N. So if you use me as a shade match reference, Dior is where it is at, and we would be 4.5N. And I think they get the N, the balance of undertones, really on point, because N should be neutral. It should be a balance between pink and yellow, and I am like a balance between those two. I shouldn't be too orange, I shouldn't be too peachy, I shouldn't be too yellow. I should really be just a balance, and it shouldn't be too gray or green either, because that's more of the olive undertone, which I can get away with. But when I end up looking in a mirror with bad lighting, that's when it really shows as this gray look on my skin. So I have to be careful with that. But Dior gets it right. Okay, this is the glow side, and then this is the matte side. I have no moisturizer on, nothing on my skin that would change the finish. And here you have, okay, here you have it, the glowy side. It's really not glowy or dewy by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't consider it glowy. It may be a little bit more slippy, like it slides around a little bit easier. So if you have dry skin, this would be your version to go for. But the matte side, it looks almost the same, right? Like, can you tell? Even the matte side looks like it may be glowing a little bit more than the glowy side. Is that weird? Here's the matte side. Can't tell a difference. It's slightly more matte for sure. It definitely is more on the matte side, but it's not much of a difference in the finish. I could use either one, and honestly, I could even mix them together. So yeah, both of them are nice. Let's go in with the Skin Correct Concealer. This is the Karen Full Coverage Creamy Concealer. I have shade 4.5N as well. Let's put her on. I have to figure out my camera angle because my mirror is over here, but the camera is over here. So I'm kind of using the camera as a mirror, but that's not what I want to do. And then my mirror is right here, and it's a magnifying mirror, so it's not the easiest to see and blend out like from a distance. Like up close definitely, but from a distance not so much. So this is a full coverage concealer, again 4.5N, and it is more on the matte side. Ooh, look at coverage, she cute. That is definitely full coverage. Again, you saw the darkness that was under my eyes. I don't necessarily need full coverage, like a solid medium would suffice for me under the eyes. This Dior concealer is cute as well, right? Let me see, any other areas I want to cover up above my lip. I got a little breakout over here. Let's see how it, where did it go? That is so strange how you lose makeup on your table that's empty and devoid of anything else. Have a little bit over here. I've been learning to conceal this cheek because it gets muddy. Like, I don't understand, when I apply blush, it's just muddy over there for some reason. It gets dirty, and I'm figuring out that I have some shadowing right here for some reason. So I just go over it with concealer. I've been doing that recently, like very, very recently. Like not on camera, not in any of my get ready with me's. But I've just recently been doing it because I figured that works out better. So as far as the foundation goes right now, I don't have a preference. Let's powder. So I have the Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder. I forgot about this. See, this is what happens when you try out so many new products. You forget the ones that are already in your collection. So this is a very lightweight powder. It's not heavy duty at all. So I'm just rubbing my brush and pressing it into the skin. You'll almost not see evidence of the powder, which is what is great about this face powder. It just sets your skin without any added coverage, but it does kind of blur your skin a bit. So here's what my skin looks like with that powder. Right? It's cute. It's cute. She is cute. I also have the Dior Backstage Contour Palette. This is universal. Yeah. Explain universal, Dior. Anyway, they have a highlighter. Is it a highlight? Oh, yes it is. Yes, it is a highlighter. Okay, let's pull out just a bit. That's what he said. Let me show you this first. So we have the highlighter light, highlighter deep, contour light, contour deep, okay? Hold up. Before I do that, let me set under my eyes. I'm just gonna use my Pat McGrath powder. I reorganized my setup on my actual desk. I moved my acrylic drawers and put them over here on the shelf, so I have more space on my desk and it doesn't feel as cluttered. And in doing so, I reorganized some of the drawers, and ooh, that powder a little dark, no? She a little dark under there. Ooh, we need to brighten that up. Let's use my one size. Cause you see it, right? It did darken up under my eyes. So in reorganizing, I found some of my products that I love, but I haven't been using. Cause again, you're kind of swapping out things for newer products because you're trying out newer things. Just doing what I do here on YouTube. I don't have like a typical consumer relationship with makeup, which I'm trying to work more towards, actually having one of those relationships with makeup, so I'm not always just rotating to new. I'm actually using older products. So let's try the light contour first and see if that does anything. It does add a little bit. Yeah, it does. Even though it looks light, let's show you that's before. And here is the after, right? So it adds a little bit for sure, and it's more of a gray toned contour shade as you would expect. Let's go in with the dark shade now and do like a little bit of bronzing. Yeah, you can see the color difference there. So they say it's universal. I wouldn't say it's universal, but it definitely will work on you if you have my complexion. And you can mix the shades. You don't have to just use one or the other. You can go between the shades. So I can just mix the two contour shades to get a warmer contour, so it won't be as gray. And yeah, that works. I think that works pretty nicely. Yes, right? That's cute. And I do have a couple of Dior blushes. Let's see. We have this one, which is $9.99, but it may be too bold right now. I'll set it to the side because it's really pretty. Then I have this rosy pink. I don't know if that would work with this look. And then I have this more peachy shade, but it may be too light. Let's try it anyway. This is number 28, is Actrice. Let's try her out. Just see how she will. She's light, you know? She's light. She's not too intense, which is actually very pretty. Like if I was going for a subtle look, this would be it, but I need a little bit more, so I'm going to use $9.99 just very lightly though. The bolder one. This is like a cherry. You see, like if I use it lightly, she's pretty. But there you have the cheeks. Oh, let's use their highlighter because they do have a highlighter in this contour palette. You know, they have a light one and then a dark. Let's try the light one, which is the white looking one. Come on, Dior. Look at this. Let me bring y'all in so you can see what's happening. So it's a light powder. It's not shimmery or glowy or anything, but it's like adding a bit of highlight. Can I turn down my exposure? Does that help? Let me do it over here. So it's light, right? But it's not icy or shimmery. So it's not like giving a cast on the blush. I actually like that. Okay, it looks a little stark right there. That's pretty. Let's try the deeper one, which is like a tan. So I don't know if that's gonna darken up anything. That is cute. Listen, okay, these are very light highlighters. They're not intensely shimmery. Oh, that exposure actually makes things look a little bit better. Okay, that looks cute. Let me do my lashes and I'll be right back and we'll do a lip. Okay, I am back and you know what? I want to do a little bit of contour along the bridge of my nose. I haven't done that in a while, so let's try the contour palette. I did my lashes and mascara and all that, and we're gonna finish up with the lips, but I just came on camera and I was like, ooh, my nose doesn't look very like it's popping against my face. It looks very like flat. So just a little contour. And the good thing about this contour powder is that it's light. So even though we're doing a contour, it won't look too harsh because it's not like too pigmented. So it's easy to control. Yeah, I think that does a little bit. And on my lower lash line, I'm not gonna do anything, I don't think, but I did want to try out the new Kaleidos liners. Well, they aren't new, but they're new to me. These are the multi-chrome liners. These are the Kaleidos Epiphany Glow Melt On Eyeliner. I think that's what it says on the very tiny writing. Whoo, 2020. I don't have 2020 vision, child. Let me check if that's what it's called. Because if that's what it's called, then I read that pretty well, considering that I can't see nothing. Like, I legit can't. Yeah, that's what. I can't see. What comes tell me? I still got my eyesight. And the shade we have is Limelight. This is one of the greens. And I wanted to try. Oh my god. So let's try that on the waterline. So I am testing these out. And I wanted to test this shade on the waterline because y'all, if you could see this right now, like, if you came in my face and you was like, hey girl, you'd be like, oh my god, what's on your waterline? Because it is, like, it's evident. Like, you can see it, right? You guys can, oh, the camera is picking it up. You can see it. Kaleidos is here with the business, okay? All right, for the lips, I always wait until I put on my outfit and everything, and I'm just wearing a dark green sweater. Oh my god, I am so glad that they included like this forest green, maybe even like a pine green for the holiday season, because I have been on the hunt for a dark pine green sweater like this for the longest. I got this at, was it JCPenney? Yeah, JCPenney. It's just a dark green sweater. The brand is ANA. So I'll link it if I can find it. I never remember to link things, so don't come for me, okay, please. All right, Dior lips, because hello. And I think I could do something red and be like really Christmassy, but that's too much. So I'm gonna use one of the Rouge Dior Forever lipsticks that I already did a full review of and I'm absolutely in love with. So this is no surprise. I'm just gonna kind of use it as a liner to do a little bit of a dark outline to my lips. So I'm not completely coating my lips in this lipstick, and I'll just lightly make sure I get my Cupid's bow, child. And then I'll grab another Dior product. This is the Dior lip tints. This is shade 421. Does it say what the shade name is? Natural Tea, okay? This is just a lip stain or a lip tint, and I'll go over the rest of my lip with this. It is not a light color. It is still a brown, but it's a little bit lighter than the darker lipstick that we just applied. And it's very thin. It's like a lip stain. So I wanted to test this out on camera for you guys so you could kind of get an idea. It feels like a lip stain. It's very cooling. It feels very comfortable. And it's a beautiful natural color on my lips, as you can see. Let me line my lips a little bit better with this lipstick. And I just did that off camera with a lip brush. So we have the dark outline, and then the center is a little bit lighter, but not too light, using this lip tint. And I like the lip tint because, again, it's very lightweight, it's very comfortable. It's like a lip stain. So if you were on the market for a lip stain and you probably couldn't get the Fenty one, probably try to get the Dior one because it is pretty nice. And I'm going to go in with one of the lip oils. What shade is this? Oh my god, I can't read this. So the shade is 020 Mahogany. And I am very impressed with myself that I'm able to read these little labels, child. I don't wear glasses. I was prescribed glasses with a very low prescription way back when, and I never wore them. It was recommended that I wear them at night while driving or while watching movies, like at a movie theater. And I think I do need to wear them at a movie theater because my vision, I went to see Black Panther, and my vision wasn't the crispest. It wasn't the most crisped. It wasn't the most it wasn't as sharp as I would like it to be. But then again, the quality at that movie theater wasn't the best because it's an older movie theater, so they don't have 4K. But yeah, the lip oil, very juicy, very nice, very expensive. But if you're on the market, I mean, it's Dior. It has a little bit of a cooling effect to it, so it's gonna plump your lips a little bit. It's not slippery and it's not thin. It's more like a gloss. So it's not really a lip oil, even though they call it a glow oil. But it's very glossy. It's comfortable. It doesn't burn or anything. So bam, there you have the lips. And here is the final overall look. And I am so in love right now. Stop. Dior does not disappoint. The D in Dior is for no disappointment because come on, come through. Now, let's talk about the products. The eyeshadow palette, okay? You saw the swatches. They look lackluster as hell. But here's the look. And you're seeing the blend I was able to achieve, even using a sticky primer. These eyeshadows are so easy to apply. They may not give you the intensity of like an indie brand eyeshadow or some other eyeshadows on the market that are giving you that oomph, that pizzazz, but they're gonna give you a really pretty look. And I love how these applied and blended, and this would be considered a wearable, colorful look. So for people who are afraid of color or they don't want that high metallic shine on their lids, maybe they have more mature skin, so really metallic eyeshadows can look crepey. This would be ideal for that type of person. Or if you're into a more subtle look, and they do have more neutral lean-in palettes that you can get into. And I really like how this eyeshadow applied, how it looks. I'm in love with the eyeshadow, hands down, loving it. Now, as far as the foundations go, remember we tried 2 different formulations in this video. We have the Dior Forever Matte on this side and the Dior Forever Glow on this side. So they're kind of the same formulation but in different finishes. But honestly, I can't tell the difference. I wear the same shade in both formulas. And the matte side, it kind of does look a little bit more true matte versus the glowy side. But the glowy side is still more like a natural matte finish. And I really love how both of them look. Would I choose either or the other? I don't know. Like, it depends on the vibe. Like, what am I feeling that day? Neither of them feel uncomfortable. So the matte side doesn't feel dry or tight. And it's not truly ultra matte at all. It doesn't feel like it's sucking the life out of my skin. But I would recommend this for combination oily skin, even normal skin. but this side is a little bit more, it's a little bit glowier, but not really like glowy, right? Does that make sense? Not really. It's more like a natural skin finish. It's not truly dewy. It's not really shiny at all. So you can get away with this even if you have oily combination or normal skin. And I think this would work best for dry skin. So the foundations definitely get a thumbs up from me. I think they're amazing. I do love the formulations from Dior, so these are no exception. The concealer is also nice. I don't think you necessarily need to run out and get this concealer because I've tried other concealers that I'm equally in love with, and this isn't truly like, oh my god, it's so amazing, but it is really nice. It sits well under the eyes, it does have great coverage, and it blends out really nicely, and I also like the color, and it's not creasing or settling into my lines, so I like that as well. Let's talk about the contour palette. I think this is pretty decent. It is not truly a universal contour palette, but if you were looking for a contour palette that has highlighters and contours that you can use to shape your face, you know, it's something to try out. I like the highlighters because they're very subtle, but you may not be into that. They also have like a highlighter palette that has really shiny highlights. You can try that out, but this is for a very natural look, and I do like it. The powders, listen, this Backstage powder is beautiful. It's an older release from them, but I like it as well. But it's going to just give you a very subtle finish to your skin. It's more of a finishing powder than a setting powder because it's not really going to set your face down. It's just going to finish it. It's gonna give a beautiful blur to your skin, but it's not gonna add any coverage, and it's not going to really mattify your skin. It's just gonna give you a beautiful finish to your skin. So I really like these as well, and I do recommend these as well as the foundation. The contour powder and the concealer are kind of like, if you wanted to try it, they're good, but they're not like must-have products. As far as the blush goes, I really like the blushes, to be honest with you, and if you get a really fun color, they last pretty decently on the skin. Like, it's still holding on. Usually I can tell if a blush is gonna hold up if it already starts fading, but right now I just have a beautiful subtle color on my cheeks, and I really like it. So the blushes are nice, but they're expensive, so you can probably find cheaper alternatives. But if you wanted to treat yourself, go ahead and treat yourself, okay? The lip products, listen, Linda, okay? I love these Forever lipsticks. These are amazing. They're long lasting, but I've heard some people say they find them drying. I personally don't find them drying, but I don't have dry lips, but these last forever. They're like bulletproof. They're like a liquid lipstick in that they stay in place. They don't transfer. Like, they last all night, all day. Like, listen, okay? But it's in a bullet form, and for me, again, it's not drying, but some people have said they're drying. But if you were looking for a long lasting lipstick, I'm just saying, test this one out. I will link my video over here so you can check out my full review and see some swatches of the other shades. The lip tint. This is a nice little lip tint as well. I've used it alone and I've used it with a gloss. It's a lightweight tinted product. It's not going to give you a lot of color payoff, but it gives you this subtle flush to your lips and it doesn't transfer. It's, again, one of those long wearing products, but it's not going to give you opacity. It's just going to give you a wash of color. And I really like this as well. So, who knew? The lip oil, I really enjoy these. I have two shades. So we used Mahogany, but they also have a clear one. That's going to kind of give you the same effect. Mahogany is going to give a little bit more of a more brown look to your lips, but because my lips do have pigment to them naturally, it kind of just looks like a clear gloss over my already pigmented lips. But I do like the lip oils. They're glowy, they're beautiful, they're a little bit tingly without being painful, and I like how they look. But they're not like a traditional lip oil where they're really oily and slippy. These are more like a gloss, so don't expect like a really thin, oily consistency. Again, it's more like a gloss, and I really like them. What else did we try? Was that everything? Yes, I do. Yep, that was everything. So let me know what you guys think about this look. I didn't finish up telling you about Tesla. So the feedback about Elon is that he is very difficult to work for. he is erratic and irrational, and he has these expectations and these requests, and he can change his mind at the drop of a hat. Like, he's all over the place, and the demands that he places on his employees is just outlandish, and he expects them to work extra long hours, and it's ridiculous, okay? So Twitter is pretty much in flames, and it makes me sad because I don't want to see Twitter go, because again, it's one of my favorite social media apps that I participate in pretty much every day, and I love the interactions I have on there. I know people say Twitter is toxic, but I don't see that side because my timeline is curated with the people that I follow that I enjoy, and it's not really a bunch of noise. It's just my peoples, and we're having fun just chatting it up. So I like Twitter, and I'm just like, somebody come and save Twitter, because I don't want it to go to the dogs, all right? It's already like down the drain, but I'm hoping like it can recover. But we'll see, fingers crossed, but it is a whole mess. Let me know what you guys think. Again, Twitter, I don't want to see you go, baby, but you know, if you gotta go, you gotta go, because Elon is a hot mess. Other than that, I'm going to leave all the products mentioned and used in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If there's an asterisk next to any of those links, that means it is an affiliate link, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through that link. It's an easy way to show your support for the channel because it gives me a kickback for putting you on. But if you're not comfortable with that, just shop the way you normally shop. No muss, no fuss. I'm still happy you're here watching. Leave me a comment. Say what's up. Let me know what's going on with you. And I am also going to leave links to my Instagram and Twitter, where you should be following me along. Hopefully Twitter doesn't go to hell. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye, guys.